Hello again everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. We are back here in the Chantry. We need to go back up to the top floor of the Chantry now to go and have a word with old Cassandra. Well, she's not that old, but you know, wow, did I just headbutt the I don't think I should be trusted with some of the things that I'm going to be trusted. I'm probably going to be trusted with if I can't walk in a straight line without headbutting an inanimate object. So the side doors here too. Oh, we read here. The Maker. Here we go. There was no word for heaven or for earth, for sea or sky. All that existed was silence. And then the voice of the Maker rang out the first word, and his word became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities, and from it made his firstborn. And he said to them, "In my image I forged you. To you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done." Then in the centre of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne and sang hymns of praise unending, but their songs were the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with the golden light reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth their banners that flew on their own. And the voice of the Maker shook the fates, saying, "In my image I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing." And he knew he had wrought amiss, so the Maker turned from his firstborn and took from the Fade a measure of its living flesh and placed it apart from the spirits and spoke to it, saying, "Here I decree opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever-changing, but held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky. At last did the Maker from the living world make men immutable as the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, "To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the Fade I crafted you, and to the Fade you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me." And then the Maker sealed the gates of the Golden City, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. What a strange person the Maker is. Big old chest there, which you can't loot too, which is interesting. What's this side of it? This side of the main door. More chests which you can't loot. Hello, Knave. Enemies drop unique collectibles. Bring them to the researchers to learn more about your foes and earn combat bonuses against them. Oh, that's good. Got the codex again. This is So this is the researcher. Okay.
I believe Seeker Pentagast was looking for you.
So you can't actually get them yet. Gotcha. Turn in research? Ah, there we go.
Study that.
Shadow essence is removed. Okay. Read. What's this? The children of Andraste. There are many misconceptions regarding Andraste's bloodline, Monsieur. This is due, I should think, to a general lack of knowledge regarding Andraste's immortal life. Understandable, considering the many cults that arose following her death. Everyone sought to claim Our Lady for their own culture or claim some aspect of her existence was a lie, all of them complete fabrications. My order has done considerable research to ascertain the truth. We all know Andraste and the Betrayer raised 5 children. The eldest 3 were sons, Isarath, Evrion, and Varald. The rule of what was once southern Tevinter was split among them. Isarath was given the west, which is today Orlais. Evrion was given the east, which is today the Free Marches. Varald was given the central Planacine, which is today Navarra. What became of these men and their legacies is the stuff of legend. The majority of claimants to Andraste's bloodline link back to one of them. None of the 3 sons, however, were born of Andraste. They were born of the Betrayer's concubine, Gillivan. People choose to overlook the fact that Andraste came from the Alamari tribesmen and that they were barbarians, not the Ferelden's we know today. They were savage warriors who took concubines in addition to their wives, and because Andraste was thought to be too weak to bear children, the Betrayer took Gillivan to provide him heirs, which she did. After her death, the sons were raised as Andraste's own. Later in life, Andraste proved predictions wrong and had 2 daughters by the Betrayer, Ebris and Vivial. They were kept out of the public eye and not permitted to marry, although both had consorts. Ebris had but one child, Ali Vamar, who perished on a voyage to Denerim less than a month after her mother felt a plague, and without children of her own. Vivial was more controversial. A strong a strong-headed woman who defied her family by falling in love with a mage of Tevinter, Regulan. Viviel and Regulan went into self-imposed exile as the Exalted March began, and into hiding following Andraste's betrayal and murder. What became of Viviel and her descendants is largely unknown for one primary reason: shed only daughters. Each of those daughters only had daughters. They married into other families and took other names, and in the chaos of the Second Blight, all traces of survivors were lost. Andraste's true bloodline, if it exists, lies solely in the descendants of Viviel, and the suspicion of my order is that it produces only daughters. Thus, the claims of your young man, Monsieur, are highly suspect. Oh, so Andraste's bloodline only has females left, apparently, if anybody. That's interesting.
If you find anything, please bring it in.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's actually go and talk to Cassandra after all this. And Broderick.
Chain him! I want him prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that and leave us.
You walk
Good.
a dangerous
Listen to
line,
Cassandra.
Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
I did what I could, yeah.
I did everything I could to close the breach. It almost killed me.
Cassandra
Yet
slightly
you
approves.
A convenient result insofar as you're concerned.
Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect,
You, and many others.
but not the prisoner.
Oh, how tables
I
have turned.
heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to him for help.
So his survival, that thing on his hand, all a coincidence.
Providence. The Maker sent him to us in our darkest hour.
Blessed be the Maker, you believe in innocence. Let's be stout. What more do you want here?
The breach is stable now. What more do you want from me?
We must try again.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn.
The Inquisition!
We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
Cassandra, oh, you are special.
This is the
You are
Divine's
special.
directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
Well, I guess we've kind of been thrust in on this, but...
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way.
You're
We
telling
need
me.
those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
What about the Chantry, yeah?
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
No, we don't have
But
time,
we
yeah.
cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
What if I refuse?
You can go if you wish.
You should know that while some believe you chosen, many still think you guilty. The Inquisition can only protect you if you are with us.
We can also help you.
It will not be easy if you stay. But you cannot pretend this has not changed you.
Well, you raise a fair point. I want to help, yeah.
If you're truly trying to restore order,
That is the plan.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
Pleasure to be on board, Cassandra. Miss Pentagast. Oh, so Inquisition. That's why it's called Inquisition. Dragon's Inquisition. Fantastic. So we're trying to gather some kind of army or force of people under one combined. It's all aiming towards one goal, which is stopping whichever chaos is transpired here. Who the hell are those other two people? That Liliana sending messages? Varrick knows. Varrick knows. Oh, those messages have reached somewhere. Is that Redcliffe and Denerim? It looked like Redcliffe and Denerim. Could be wrong there, though. Roderick does clearly not agree with what's going on here. But I don't agree with him, so, you know. Cassandra seems like a good leader, doesn't she? She knows what she's talking about. Well, I still don't know who these other two people are behind me. That's our goal, that big breach in the sky. Dragon Age Inquisition. There we go. But as well as the breach in the sky, we have to find out what caused the breach in the sky. So... Oh, there we go. No, the enemy quest complete. Oh, we have influence. That is that influence over the people, I'm guessing? Because I'm guessing that some of the people are going to have a lot to kind of... It's going to take a while for them to actually be convinced of us. So the breaches can, but the trouble is only beginning. Reports Haven's Chantry. What's anything Haven? Haven's best and brightest. Even these trying times... Good help is not so hard to find. Explore Haven and meet some of the Inquisition's crafting masters. Speak with a smith, quartermaster, and apothecary. Okay. So one of them's over here. Look. Fulfill Inquisition requisitions with the quartermaster. Okay.
No, my lord, I don't know where the other nobles are. I suggest you ask Ambassador Montillier. Oh, you're him.
Him.
Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
Okay.
what do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important.
Slightly important job you got there, yeah.
Us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
You've got a point.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under 10 Loghain MacTier. Best commanding officer this world has ever
Ho
seen.
ho, what a guy.
After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion.
Wonder why they turned on him.
Alistair offered my services to the Inquisition. Probably to get rid of me.
Good old Alistair. Ah, so that confirms one of my choices has taken effect. King Alistair, good. Loghain is a traitor, yeah.
Loghain MacTier betrayed the Grey Wardens and his king.
Were you there at Ostagar? I was. King Kaelan overextended his position, and the Grey Wardens were too late lighting the signal.
Too late.
Following the original plan would have gotten everyone killed. Turn Loghain made the right decision. I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
Okay, that's a fair point, but he also declared the Grey Wardens traitors. Which, there's nothing... Okay, how do I feel special about this?
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site. Maybe Varrick can get our troops better weapons.
Okay.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Locate weapon materials, iron and a logging stand. Our soldiers require additional weapons if they're to be effective. Reward +1 power. Okay, so we need logging stand and iron. Okay.
Find anything we need, let me know.
So we are doing things here which are going to like gradually build an army, which is quite cool.
If the Inquisition can afford fancy
That is nice. Right, let's have a little wander around here and then. Guessing nothing else has popped up in these places? No, okay. Hello, Varrick. May as well have a little chat with Varrick while I'm here.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
I love this guy. This is all bullshit. No. Too many people died up there, yeah.
I don't even want to think about how many lives were lost on that mountaintop.
A lot of good men and women didn't make it out of there. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
Why did you stay, yeah?
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
I was fortunate, yes.
It's pure luck that I escaped.
Good luck or bad? You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going.
I ain't running from nothing,
Heroes
Varrick.
are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky, that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle. Need something?
Oh, because we're actually asking direct questions now. Tell me about Red Lyrium.
The red
Yeah.
lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered Red Lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
Kind of
So what is it?
skipping over the betrayal there.
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life.
Oh, I remember very well.
Turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
Good old
How did
Meredith.
the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the thaig it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the Deep Roads? That's not a cheery thought.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
You're telling me.
Need something?
Personal question.
Can I ask you something, Varrick?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
You said it. Where are you from? Yeah.
Are you from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
It's pretty bad, let's be fair.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant.
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
If you've run a spy network, why is Leliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
Very honest of you.
You're an author. What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done.
Of course.
The Tale
I
of
remember
the
that series.
Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me.
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
I don't know Cassandra, yeah.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine.
Anders.
Seeker had questions about that.
Well,
And I
technically
had
Hawk, but
answers.
you know.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. I won her from Paragon Smith Bronca in a game of Wicked Grace. She was such a sore loser. Ran off to the deep roads in a huff, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
Who's she named for?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Interesting.
No problem.
Exactly the same in 2, to be fair, wasn't it? Can I ask you about Hawk?
Something?
I can, yeah. I question about Hawk,
I
yeah.
read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
In the book, you say that First Enchanter Orsino turned himself into a giant monster.
Oh, I'm
made of
interested about the
corpses.
answers to this.
How? Why?
Do I look like an expert on magical weirdness to you? Well, I can't tell you how. For the why, all I can say is he was desperate.
Didn't seem desperate at the time, but yeah.
There is no way Hawk really could have killed the Arishok. It would have started a war with the Qunari.
I was told later that the Qunari disavowed his actions. Apparently, the Arishok didn't get permission before he attacked Kirkwall, and the Qun didn't want another exalted march.
Ah, that makes sense.
When they finally sent a ship to haul the wrecked dreadnought away, they just said, "We will never speak of this again." As far as I can tell, that's the Qun's version of an apology.
Where are
Where are
Hawk's
the rest of
friends?
Hawk's
Oh, this will be
associates
interesting.
now?
Merrill decided to look after the elves left homeless by the fight.
Oh, that's good on Meryl.
She's done a pretty good job of keeping them away from the mages and Templars, so far.
Good.
I guess she has plenty of practice avoiding stupid human battles with her old Dalish clan.
Yeah.
Fenris has kept himself busy, hunting down the Tevinter slavers who came south to prey on the refugees. I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment. You can usually follow the trail of corpses. Isabella went back to the raiders. She's calling herself an admiral now.
Oh.
I don't know if she's actually in charge or just has a really big hat. Sebastian went
Ah,
back
the
to
big hat.
Starhaven. I'm sure he's boring all sorts of people.
Oh, poor Sebastian.
Last I knew, Hawk's sister Bethany was doing something wardeny near the Anderfeld's border. Aveline is still guard captain. I'm pretty sure Kirkwall would fall into the sea if she quit her job.
Oh, that's good to know. Good to know that all of them are still alive, apparently. I noticed he didn't mention Anders. We don't talk around this. Anyway, yeah. So thank you all very much for watching this episode, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Dragonslayer Inquisition. Thanks again, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.